So, it is a lovely cold evening in London. I'm up on the roof of the building I live in. Look at that view. You can see it behind me. And we've got Ian on this little success story. So the main thing that we do at Four Creatives, right, is we completely change people's identities, creatives' identities, from freelancer, who's not really much use, who's not very useful, to growth partner. And Ian's a great example of that. They all are. Everyone who comes through and puts the effort in always becomes a growth partner. But Ian's going to have a little chat about how he done that and what it's looked like for him. So he's a character. So here's Ian, and let's hear about what he had to say. Recording in progress.
Lovely. So I'm a failure. It's all a lie. It's all a ruse. This is horseshit. Don't go into video.
I could see you thinking about that one, mate. I thought something funny was coming.
He's
So
in the
this
back
is
thinking of like, how can I ruin this call for Reese?
so this is Ian. As you can tell, he's the man with the banter in the community. Like, thanks for that intro, mate. That was a good one. I'll definitely be keeping that in. So yeah, come some way in the community. Always shows up. Always gets involved. Always gets stuck in. Yeah, and that's Ian. I don't know whether you want to take the floor for a second, mate, and introduce yourself. Let everyone know who you are, what you're about, and then we'll fire away some quick questions and see where we
Yeah,
go with it.
all right. So my name's Ian Gubbins. I run GU3 Media. And before I started doing video the last couple of years, I was like a professional musician for ages. And then I moved into like video world and stuff, just kind of like doing music videos and all that kind of stuff. And then I was just bootstrapping it. Like I got a couple of clients and stuff by some referrals and stuff like that. But it was very few and far between. And I just was bootstrapping it for so long. I was like, oh, I need to figure something else out. Like, because I know business experience, didn't know what I was doing at all. I was like, I need help. Like, I need direction. And then I was like, pretty much stalking the Fourth Creators page for like a year. And then that seven touches, the like keep on posting, keep on posting. Saw
Rule of
testimonial
seven, mate. Rule of
exactly. Yeah,
seven. Yeah.
the rule
For
of seven.
anyone watching this, rule of seven, massively important. Look it up for
It got me. It worked
your
on me.
clients and for your own business. Yeah.
It
Go
got me.
you, and here you are.
And I even said that on the Discovery call as well. I was like, all right, look, your marketing got me, brother. You can, congratulations.
You actually said, I've been watching you for a while. I was like, fuck, would that have you?
Yeah, in the back.
Yeah.
And then yeah, I just jumped on a Discovery call, and the rest is history, as the cliche goes.
Lovely, lovely, mate. All right, and well, what I really want to understand is how did you view yourself and what you offered and what you could, what value you held as a video creative in comparison, like before in comparison to now. So
I
where would you say it was at?
Yeah, I suppose before I didn't really have a solid view, like as in I didn't have any experience when it comes to like how you run a video business, how you run a business in general. Didn't know how to get clients. I was just like I didn't really know what I was doing at all. And like I wasn't thinking about it like a business. I was trying to learn, but it was progress was slow. And like I would just go in, shoot some content for people, and then they'd post it. And then that would be it. Like there was no it was hard to maintain clients' relationships. I wasn't tracking any metrics. It was just like I was just throwing stuff at the wall. Like it just felt like I was kind of running around with my head up my ass. Didn't really know what I was doing. Whereas in now, obviously it's a lot different. But like obviously, even when you're doing really well, like you always have problems in business, or you know when you learn something new, business problems are always going to be business problems. I mean, you just exchange old problems for new bigger problems. But like that's a pain you get to choose, and that's why we do this kind of freelancing stuff because we choose this, rather than working for someone else. But yeah, now like from the course, and really the community and stuff, like the minds, I would say all the business stuff is great. Like 100%, I bring that into the businesses I work with now. But it's the mentality stuff and the mindset stuff that really kind of got me hooking. I remember even on the Discovery call, like you hyped me up so much that I was like, please take all my money, brother. I need you.
I
Like,
actually can't remember it, but
yeah.
yeah, it was a
You were like,
while
you
ago
can
now.
do this. I was like, do you really think so?
Well, it worked, mate.
It
Not
did,
only
it
did it
did.
work then, what I mean is it worked. Like, look at you now. Like, your mindset's completely different.
Yeah, like, and as like, it's always obviously human psychology where you have ups and downs and stuff, but like, generally knowing that when my mindset shifted from like, actually, you know what? I am able to have like a really successful business, and there is no limit to where I can bring this. Just kind of changed my approach to it, being like, all right, let's fucking do this. Let's learn as much as I can. And just get used to like the fear of failure. Like before, I would not try new things and say yes to things because I'm like, oh, I definitely can't do that, or I'm not going to be able to do it. Whereas now, if I don't know how to do something, I'm like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'll just go and try and do it. I'll do it. Like I'll go and learn how to do it, and then I get better at it. And that is just like I'm fully freelance now. You know, I wasn't fully freelance before I started. Like I quit my job a few months ago, and like it was the best. Creatively, it's been the best thing I've ever done in my life because like I work for myself now. Like I get to learn everything as much as I can about business and videography and just like finding problems for businesses and trying to like creatively solve that stuff with them. And yeah, it's been class. Obviously, it's been challenging. That shit never goes away, but like in general, it has been quite a lot of creative and business sustenance for my soul.
Yeah, I appreciate that transparency, mate. It's not always straightforward. There's no copy and paste magic formula that works for everybody. There is like testing periods, different things work for different people in different niches, different industries with different creatives. It's all different, and that's the navigation that we try and that we work on. And then in terms of your like the mindset's different and your approach is different, obviously. In terms of the value that you hold, like obviously you knew you could make something, a beautiful video for somebody. You were a creative, you can make a great video, it'd look great for somebody. But then, and would you say that was as far as you viewed it prior, like in comparison to now? Like where do you feel your value lies when your clients looking at you? Like, do you feel like it's just a pretty video you can provide for them, or do you feel like you can provide more now?
I mean, I didn't even think I made pretty videos before, never mind now. But like, yeah, I think the value is different now, obviously, because before I was just making videos for people and that was it. And like, yeah, they were good videos. Maybe they were over edited, but they had no purpose. They didn't have a purpose. They didn't fit anywhere. I didn't know anything about funnels. It was just like, here's a video. It's fine. Let's go. Bish, bash, bosh, done. On to the next client. Like client churn was mad. And I didn't even have that many clients. Whereas now, I don't even take on a lot of clients. Like I take on a few, and sometimes they churn, sometimes they don't. But like the value where I understand now is that like when I go with the business on a discovery call, it's like we're not just making videos for you because I can just figure out different ways. I don't even have to offer them videos anymore. It's more like I'm thinking about strategy, I'm listening to what they're saying, I'm trying to figure out their business problems, and then I'm figuring out how can I use my skill set. And one of them is being a videographer or a photographer or whatever, or creative. How can I use that skill set to solve their problems? And then I do retainer contracts with people now. So like I'm not just coming in for a month shooting a load of content and then I'm out the gap. I'm there. I only take like minimum 3, 6 month, 12-month contracts. So I can be with the business for a long time to be like, we're going to try different things because as you're saying, it's the same with videographers. Businesses need different kind of things it's not a one size fits all, but at least I know my skills now and the stuff I've learned with the course and the stuff with the community. If I'm unsure about stuff, it's like I've talked to a few of my clients where I'm telling them, I'm like, you're not just kind of getting me, like, because I'm part of this community, you're also getting like the ear of like 60 people who are doing the same thing. That like, where are you going to get else? Where else are you going to get that? Like, so yeah, my value is completely changed now, and I'm able to comfortably charge quite a good bit for retainer contracts because I know that I can actually go in and solve their problems. Like I'm not just giving them free or not just giving them pretty videos, even though sometimes they're not pretty at all. Um, Now I don't really care about that at all. Like obviously you want your work to be certain high level, but like now I'm not so consumed with like using a high end camera to get the best looking stuff. Now I'm like, we could use a shitty iPhone and do really crap style video, and it might bring in more leads to your business than a high end produced stuff because it's not what you need. You don't need highly produced videos. You need something that's really, really going to work. So they're not paying me anymore for like high production. We do that sometimes, but they're not paying for high production. They're paying for the results that these things give them. They're paying for the ideation, they're paying for the relationship, and they're paying for like actually fucking making money in their business. And I'm helping them do that. So let's go.
Great. So in summary, how would you summarize it?
So before I was coming into businesses and I was more like just a videographer, I was just kind of like a gun for hire. will come in, just shoot some really lovely stuff, send it off to them with no like ideation for it at all. And then they'll be like, "Grand, we have some videos." Whereas in now, I come in, it's a lot more in depth. It's much more of like a growth partner. I'm like a person in the business. I almost become like their short-term CMO or something, you know. Because now I have the skills to do that, and my clients trust me to do that. And that's what I love. That's the thing I love about doing what I'm doing now. Whereas in before it was just video. Now I'm an actual growth partner with a company. And I go in, we look at the numbers, we try different things, and if they don't work, we change, and we're able to shift really, really quickly. And the clients I work with really, really love that, you know. And I love having the crack with them as well. I'm all about the relationships. Reese, you know this.
I know exactly what you're like, mate. You've been to 2 in-person events now. And yeah, mate, you're a boy and a half. Like I've just realized as well, I'm drinking my water out of a Guinness glass for my Irish.
Split the G.
There you go. Split the G. I've gone past that now. And that's what people want now is a single growth partner who can, if it needs to be, if you need to grab a couple more people as part of the team to do something, then great. But they just want to have one point of contact, one person they trust, one person who understands how the full thing works. And that's why those mid-tier video agencies are now being replaced by people like yourself and all the rest of the guys in the community, because you can do it cheaper, and it's not as if it's small deals, but you can do it cheaper than what the ridiculous fees of the agency charges. And people would rather work with just one person that they can trust. But overall, mate, growth partners where we want to be, and good to hear that's where you are. So what was your last deal? How did that one go?
So I recently signed a solar panel company over in Ireland. They signed on for a 6-month contract, and we went in. I had the discovery call with them, and just like asked what I usually would ask in a discovery call. And like, there's a discovery call script. Obviously, you made the course, but like, there's a whole script in the course that like is invaluable, and like I just tweaked that kind of stuff anyway for what I needed to ask them. We went through all their problems. They told me a load of stuff when they've issues with like lead capture, lead generation. Their content was really sporadic. The last couple of marketing agencies they worked with were shocking. They just didn't really care. It was the same thing. Mid-tier agencies, bloated, terrible relationships because they would just send some random old videographers to go down and shoot some stuff with them. There was no relationship there, like, and there was no results there. And even if they had problems, it was too slow to contact the agency to fix it quickly. They would take like 2 weeks to respond, and the company was like, "We need help. This is not working." So I listened to all that, then went off, made my proposals, and then I offered my 3 packages, all retainer packages, and one of them, the one they went with the middle one, psychologically always the best thing to do.
You got it.
I meant with the middle one, we're doing 12 videos and 12 like kind of carousel posts a month. And the carousels are from the ideas of the videos, which is great. But also I saw that like they were having really bad lead capture. So what I offered as well is I built them an Instagram automation, offered that to them. So when we're making our videos, I'm sure everyone has seen it. It's like comment this below, and then you get an email and the bot starts. But when I built that, their leads now go to their CRM. I also got them, I made a deal with the CRM company, and I got onto the owner, and I was like, "Look, I have a new client possibly that might be looking for a CRM. Can you do them a good deal? And I'll include you on any new clients." So I made a good relationship there, sorted out their automation, connected to their new CRM, and they're really, really happy. Our new videos now are going up this month. And yeah, we'll just be tracking everything, seeing what works, seeing what doesn't work, and the next month reiterating, and then the next month reiterating. And they've already said that we want to do big, like we're going to do the bigger production videos, like the brand story videos for their website, big proper produced FAQ videos for the website. But the first 3 months is getting some small wins with social. And then the next 3 months are going to be producing big proper videos with like big budgets, like 8, 10, 12 grand. That's down the line, you know. They've already said
Yeah, yeah. For a single video, I think that's fair enough. And I like the approach, and we've seen that work quite a bit, where there's a sort of testing period for 3 months with organic content, and then the more branded content is the upsell. It works quite well. And also to go back to an earlier point, like I said, this isn't like a copy and pasting for everybody. It's great to hear that you've taken certain elements out of the program, because we offer like a spectrum of different approaches to different clients and different industries, like I said earlier. And this particular lead magnet one that you're doing is you're testing out on this client because it's probably suitable, and like a whole many chat automation will work for their business. Whereas there's some businesses, like I know one of your other clients is a hair salon, and on you got on retainer. Maybe that wouldn't work so well for them. Like comment this sort of word, and you can
Yeah,
do
definitely
this and
wouldn't.
this.
It's
Yeah,
like it's not a thing. Like I talked to them, my other client, about that,
mm,
and we came to the conclusion that like we could do this, but it wouldn't be very beneficial for their business to do that. You know,
exactly. Yeah,
their generation is a little bit more um personal, and it's a bit more tailored to each customer they get. So like adding in an automation chat there would kind of ruin that vibe for them. So
mm, mm.
everyone has different lead generation stuff, and like it wasn't even like something specific in the course that like gave me that idea. It was the concepts from the course that made me come up with some creative ways of lead generation, lead capture. It was like going
Mm.
through the concepts of the course was like, this is the core idea of how you're meant to get clients for people or customers for people and lead generation. And then I was like, okay, how can I do that for my specific clients? So like that's when I'm talking about like mindset and that kind of
Mm.
stuff comes to the course. It's like there's unbelievable specific things in the course, but it's the general idea that the different sections in the course give you that make you creative, that kind of give you the confidence, that gave me the confidence to like try things, you know?
You nailed it. It's being a creative, and it's called for creatives is because like every business is different, even when there's people selling, similar sort of product or services to what we do. Um, each one of those is going to be unique in its own way. How we are unique is we approach everything as a creative first. There's technical systems, there's, follow this process, follow this system, do this, do that. Whatever it is, you've got lots of different options of what you want to do. But ultimately, what I try and get everybody to do is we're all creatives and we all think loosely similarly. So if you can approach it as a creative first and foremost and be like, right, I'm not just going to be, you know, I'm going to think as well as I'm going to consume this information and be coached, but I'm also going to think for myself as well. Be like, okay, when and where does this apply to my situation? I think you've just been really good at that. So the creativity starts way before you even start talking about videos. It's like, right, how do I understand this client's buyer's journey? How can I understand their audience's buying decisions and why they make those decisions due to what emotion needs to be invoked, due to whatever the brand is. And that's why it's, that's why the offer is scaling creatives income with branded content. It's all about pushing brand, and brand pretty much means emotion. It's like, all businesses sell emotion. They don't sell the product or service. So we lead with that from all angles. So mate, you've been a really good example of that.
Thank you.
So what have you found the most helpful in the program, would you say?
What has been the most helpful? It's kind of difficult one because there's so much stuff involved in the whole thing, not just the course itself, the community. That has been mad helpful. Like some weeks I'm like, Jesus Christ, the value I got from that was insane. Like, with the course, the most helpful stuff has been learning about the how to solve businesses problems. That with the course anyway, like the outreach has been great, but like the learning how to like accurately go through a company and a brand and figure out where their holes might be when it comes to their like lead generation or whatever their problems might be, figuring that out properly, and doing that with an owner of a company or a CMO or something, doing that with someone and having the confidence to do that with them, being like, look, this is a conversation between the two of us to really try and solve your problems and see if I can be able to do that. That was mad. That's been very helpful. Um, I'd say the community has been the biggest part of it for me. Like the in-person meetups have been great. The like the weekly calls have been just unbelievable. Like some weeks we all have insecurities because we're creatives, and it's hard to be out in the world on your own when you're a freelancer. Like there's so much stuff you have to think about, and you're like, oh, it could all fall apart at any time, and you've such imposter syndrome that like when you have those calls with a bunch of like the crew who are in for creatives and like a load of other people are feeling the exact same thing you're feeling, or they're going through the exact same kind of stuff, it's just a really good support system. It's just like it gives you a push. Like, you know, you could start your Monday being like, this is not working out. This is so hard. I'm terrible. I actually am a terrible videographer. I can't solve anyone's issues. Should I just give up? Then you'll have a call with everyone, and you leave the call being like, you know what? This is a normal way of feeling. Everyone is feeling like this. This is perfectly fine. And you just learn to have a bit more compassion with yourself, because it's not, you're not feeling it in isolation. These are just the things that come with running your own business, your own freelance business. And getting with a bunch. I love working with people. So like I have jumped on as many chances as I can to work with some of the people in the community, like, and I won't stop.
I think,
But in summary, it's really been the community. It's been the
yeah,
call, the one-to-ones, the support of the support for the mentality of being like, you know what, actually, if there's a problem, come to us. Someone will be able to help you and solve your problem with you and
yeah.
give a bit of a push to go in the right direction, you know?
It's helpful as well that the whole community are directed like loosely, well, generally in the same direction as well. The path that I nudge everyone down, like when everybody comes together collectively, it's almost like everyone's going down that path together. Um,
Yeah.
and I think you've nailed it there. I think where creatives generally, like all creatives are different, but in a very general sense, where creatives excel is understanding emotions and feeling that emotion and then translating that emotion into a piece of creative work. That's one part of the process. And then if you want to work in video marketing, which we do, you can then use that emotion to sell in the great old system of capitalism. But you know, that's what we're here to do. We're here to earn money. And we use it to our advantage to help other people as well. But and that's where creatives excel. But where creatives don't excel is like being overly emotional about their own business, and then that slows you down. And I definitely can feel that sometimes. I think we all do. You know, humans in general, but especially creatives. And I think when that's one thing that slows down the process of getting from A to B. So if you can jump on a call with everyone else and just chat it out and realize, hang on, this isn't actually as bad as I thought it was. Whatever emotion I'm feeling has exaggerated my view on things, and things are actually all right. I see that happening a lot with everybody in the community, and it's good to hear that back as well. It's good to hear that bit of feedback.
I think with creatives, like I definitely was like this as well. And I don't see a lot of people talking about this, that like creatives are like they're comfortable being creative. They're comfortable like making videos for the crack. And like their ideas, they're like, oh, let's make a really fancy, fun video or a short film, or let's make this really cool edit and stuff. And like they give themselves, including me, like you give yourself permission and you have confidence in your creativity when it comes to that way. And even sometimes you don't, but like I feel like creatives are afraid to apply that creativity to business. They're afraid to use that creativity when it comes to working with the business. They're like, oh, there's just like an insecurity for me anyway. There was an insecurity there that like, oh God, I'm working with someone who's paying me a lot of money to fix something for them. It's like before I was afraid to be really creative with that solution. You know, I'd use my creativity for a fancy video, but I wouldn't use my creativity for figuring out how that video could be used and strategically placing it in different places. You know, I'd be like, oh, if I fail doing that, that's a much worse thing for my self-worth than if a video just doesn't do well. Do you know that kind of way?
Totally, mate. And do you know what? That's a common theme we hear when it comes to before and afters and doing the success story videos like this one. A common theme we hear is just confidence. And
Yeah.
a lot, because confidence is based on evidence. And it's like, how do I know this is going to work? I've never done this before. Uh, so if you want to approach a certain conversation with a client with some like creative thoughts you have that are completely outside the box and think, fuck it, let's give it a go. A lot of the time people just don't have the confidence to move forward with it, and 100 other things. It's mainly confidence, and the confidence comes from the evidence they build, typically from going through the program. And that is really how this all works. It's
Yeah.
when ultimately the arrival point is just a far more confident version. And then you because if you haven't got confidence, then it slows you down. And it is about speed. Business is just about speed as well. So another thing, good to hear, mate. Good to hear the confidence is
100%. Yeah.
improved.
Like it's totally like I was stuck in the loop of like, oh, I don't have enough clients. I can't get the evidence. So I can't learn. I can't learn how to do this if I don't have the evidence. And it's like, it's a self-fulfilling prophecy where you're like, I can't do this. I'm not getting the evidence and stuff. And like for creatives, definitely is a good place to be like a stomping ground to figure out the like theory in the background, have a bit of warm support from everyone around you as you're trying to figure it out. And it does give you like the confidence to go into a business and being like, look, at the start at least anyway, look, I haven't done this. I haven't gotten results for someone, but I will guarantee you I will do everything in my fucking power to do it with you. And 9 times out of 10, you will get them some results. It mightn't be the ones you'll get in like a couple of months when you get better at it, but you will get them some results. And that company will be like, brilliant. This new guy, new gal who came in, who's undeveloped, has got us results. We're going to work with them now for ages. And then you just keep building those wins and wins. And you get better and you get better. And then it just gives you more confidence to like try shit. Just to like you build a relationship with the new client and you're telling them, you're like, look, I am your partner in this, but I'm also a creative strategist. I'm a creative videographer. We're going to try mad stuff because I'm not a mid-tier agency. I'm your partner. So we're going to do, and they start to trust you. And then you just start trying fucking crazy shit. And like, you might get some, you're much more confident in the losses because you're like, there's no way we're going to do something mental if we don't try stuff that we think might fail. And just the course from doing that with everyone, that's the mentality that's kind of started internalizing. And obviously I have my bad days where I'm like, Jesus, you know, I'm terrible. I'm going to give up and live on the streets. That's just normal, you know? That's just normal psychology. We don't feel that. But the general idea has been from the course, has given me the confidence and the like, the stones to go into a business and try new things with them and figure it out, you know?
Yeah.
If it doesn't work out, it doesn't work out, it's fine. There's always a new client.
And it's like, mate, nothing's guaranteed in marketing. It's all about
Yeah,
testing. It's all about testing, and that's all you can do is test. Once something sticks, bang, you know where to go with it. But you know, that's a expectation you got to give your clients at the start. But like you said, you summarized it yourself.
Never figure it out if you don't just fucking do it. Just go and do it, and you'll be grand. Do it. Don't think about it.
Yeah, and it's about having systems to be able to be in a position with them where they're like, all right, let's do it.
Yeah.
All the steps to lead up to that point. So,
They
mate,
trust. They trust your process. Like obviously that's a given. You have to show them that you do have some sort of process, that a kind of a foundation backbone that like if we don't try shit, we'll get some results, but if we try shit, we'll get more results.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just proving yourself, it's building yourself up as an asset and proving that you are an asset and using that proof then to be even more of an asset. And that is like you said earlier, the growth partner.
That's when I say I'm an asset and they're like, Jesus, this guy, who is he?
Brilliant. So is there anything you'd say to anyone watching this who's thinking about jumping in the program, a little bit on the fence? How would you summarize it?
Like if you're a videographer or whatever, photographer, you're just in that kind of world and you feel like you're kind of stuck and you're not really going anywhere and stuff, or you're just tipping away, just jump in a community, jump in something like For Creatives. Yeah, it's an investment, but like the longer you wait to not do that, it's like the mentality you have right now is not going to be the same if you jump in it. And the mentality you have right now is actually stopping you from even investing in something like this and jumping on it. It's uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable when you're like, okay, let's go do it, because that mentality is what's holding your video business back the entire time. So if you're thinking about you want to go to the next level, you need to look into that fear and just say, fuck it, I'm going to do it anyway. And that is like the first step to then building that confidence to work with bigger clients and start to back yourself. That first step is to like, all right, everything I've done before has not worked. I need to pull my finger out and invest in something that will work. And I like, for me, For Creatives has worked massively. For a ton of the people in the community, For Creatives has been a huge help. And like, I know now going forward in my video business or any creative business as it goes, even if I don't do video anymore, I still, the lessons I've learned about business and community here, I know will stand for the rest of my life. And the fact that like, where you're going to be in this course in the community for as long as it's a thing, you know, which is very comforting. And I get to see you every now and then, Reese. You know, it's gorgeous.
Oh, mate, you finished it. You finished this by, you know, touching my heart there. That's exactly what I was looking for. We got there in the end, mate. We got that emotion. We got that emotion out of you that we discussed.
Send you an invoice.
Nice one, mate. All right, but well, nice one. Thank you for jumping on. Much appreciated, giving you time to say a few words. And I'll speak to you soon, mate. Nice one. Right. If you relate to all that, then just book a call. Links in bio. Simple as that. Nice one. See you in the next one.